Hi there, my name's Katy McMinn. I'm co-founder of HR Independence, the UK body for independent HR and people professionals. First of all, I'd like to wish everybody a very happy International Women's Day. Now, International Women's Day is just one day a year, but for myself personally, gender equality is something that I think about on a daily basis. Now, I work with and have worked with some incredibly successful and inspiring women. And I've also been lucky enough to have some really great role models and mentors along my own journey. And throughout my career, I've always been really passionate about gender equality and also very aware of the often unconscious gender bias that unfortunately does still exist within organisations today. I've seen it myself as an HR professional, but also as a woman. And I've also always tried to call it when I do see it. Working with leaders, for example, on succession planning and promotions, they're two areas where it still often creeps in. And a particular example of this is when I was working with the leader of a business on the succession planning process, and we were talking about two specific employees and trying to differentiate between those two employees. They were both very strong performers, they were both delivering at a high level with very different approaches. And the comment from the leader in this particular situation was, well, I'm just not sure whether employee X really wants it as much, whether they're as hungry for it. Whereas talking to employee Y, they're banging my door down. They're telling me that they want this. They're telling me that they're ready for that next move. Now, I can tell you now that candidate X was a woman and candidate Y was a man. And my challenge in this particular situation was to say, well, we need to look beyond that. We need to look beyond what they're saying and actually look at their overall delivery, their overall performance, and the impact that they're having as well. Now, in this particular situation, we also had some data on team feedback as well. And what that demonstrated was the focus and efforts and time that the female employee was actually putting into developing and retaining her team to enable her to deliver those results. And a key aspect that business was looking for at that particular time was about developing and retaining their talent for the future. So that development was a really key aspect that they needed in their future leaders as well. And so my message to all leaders, both male and female, is always to be aware that your high potentials may not always be the ones necessarily that are shouting the loudest about their achievements. I've also witnessed performance review processes where I've seen high-performing women being rated lower than some of their male counterparts. And when I've challenged this and delved into it, the rationale can often be, well, she's highlighted that she's got to develop in this certain area, whether it be negotiation skills, presentation skills. Whereas when I talk to her male counterpart, he sees himself as already being really strong in those areas. And my pushback on comments like that is, well, that male employee, are they really the perfect package? Do they really not have any development areas? Or is it potentially that they're just either not acknowledging them or don't have that self-awareness? And whilst I know it can be seen as a bit of a generalisation, typically women can be more honest and more critical of themselves when it comes to development needs, development areas, and dare I say it, have a greater sense of self-awareness and will focus on what they need to do better, what they need to learn and what they can do going forward to help that. So I think it's important to remember and encourage both men and women that we need to learn from each other here to get a better balance. So how does all this play out? Well, women often start feeling that to succeed, they need to start pretending to be someone they're not. They see the profile of success in their organisation and feel that they need to mould themselves into that. And that isn't helping anybody. It's not helping the individual, it's certainly not helping the business, and it's not helping the new generation of women coming into the workforce. For a business or a team to be successful, it needs cognitive diversity. And what that means is it needs different opinions, it needs different styles and approaches and ways of thinking. And that prevents groupthink and ends up achieving better results. So my challenge to all women out there this International Women's Day is to be themselves, is to be true to their own values, and that to remember that they bring their own unique style and perspective to the table, and that they not only deserve that seat at the table, but they are needed at that table. Thank you.